Hey guys, we got Thursday skill work today. We're gonna do something based on handstands, and today we're gonna talk about just holding a freestanding handstand. This is hard, requires core control, good mobility through the shoulder, wrist, and then you get upside down, there's a whole central nervous system component where practice is really important. So we're gonna start off really basic here with the tripod, okay? So the tripod, actually, I'm going to use the wall. Let's just say you're nervous about rolling on your back, you don't have a pad. I recommend something at least for the top of your head, okay? But the wall can be a spotter. We're going to use the wall for a spotter for the handstand and these headstand drills. But remember, a tripod is when our head and our hands make a triangle, okay? This is important for having a nice foundation. We're going to start off just with headstand work. This tripod position is important. So if you look at my hands, they're slightly behind the mat. I tuck my chin, okay, walk up on my tippy toes, look at my forearms being vertical, okay, and try to get forward so that I can easily place my knees on my shoulders. The idea here is I'm setting myself up so that when you get upside down, one of the scary things is falling on your back. Now I have the wall here. Let's say I lose my balance, right? I'm trying to, like, I fall, and I can't fall on my back. So I have this blocker, either go to my feet or go to my back, okay? And just trying to find a position that feels somewhat comfortable, okay? So from here, keeping pressure in your head and your hands, then you're going to start trying to go to a full headstand. So you start by trying to lift your knees, again, pushing through your hands, eventually extending your body, squeezing your butt, okay? We do hollow position a lot on the floor. That's where this comes into play. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your ribs down, pressing through your hands, pointing your toes, just getting comfortable, feeling your body upside down. So just practicing a headstand. Getting comfortable upside down, right? Requires less strength. Make sure your chin is tucked so you're nice on the top of your head. You got the wall there to protect you. This is a great skill. See how long you can hold it without running into the wall, trying to stay stable, okay? That's a good foundational strength for getting your brain and body comfortable upside down. Of course, we have to get into the real deal. So one of the drills that I like is doing a wall walk and taking your feet off the wall one at a time, okay? Again, there's a lot of drills for handstands, so we're just going to talk about a couple. This builds basic strength, and you need to be comfortable and confident in holding your body weight on your arms. So we can start, if you look kind of where I'm at in this position, all right? Fingers are spread nice and wide. Wide fingers will help you have a stronger base. Try to keep all of your knuckles pressed down, all right? First thing I'm going to do is step one foot up to the wall, tuck my chin, all right? Now I'm going to try to walk my hands back as far as I feel comfortable, okay? Ideally, if you're not comfortable, give yourself an out. So at any point here, I can still step down so I feel pretty safe. As I show you this drill, feel free to grab a partner as well if you're scared of falling on your back, okay? But here's what it looks like. I set myself up, walk back a little closer to the wall. My chin is tucked. I bring one foot off the wall, right? And then maybe try to switch my feet. What I want you to focus on is pressure through your knuckles, pushing up from the ground, and trying to go slowly, all right? If you saw how I was doing that. That's called a handstand floater. Again, just have someone here if you're scared of falling on your back, but you have a lot to think about. Really, don't let your elbows bend. Don't let your knuckles come off the ground. Okay? Keep your chin tucked and then controlling your feet. So a lot to think about in that inverted position. Okay? As you get comfortable, a drill I like as well is to try to walk your hands closer to the wall. Again, for this one, definitely get a spotter or a pad. But the idea is that what we see often when people do a handstand is that they'll end up like this, where their back is arched. Right? We want to be in that hollow position where the chin is tucked, the ribs are pushed down, and the shoulder is open. This is where if you have mobility issues in the upper back, you might experience some challenges. But the idea is walk your hands close to the wall, and it kind of forces your body into that position. And then the goal is to just kind of float. You might be surprised. All of a sudden you feel wobbly in this handstand, like, oh wow, I'm actually in a handstand. So it looks just like this. I start here, same start position, I walk back, okay? Tucking my chin and getting my wrist close to the wall, and then just trying to tap my toes off the wall. I'm not actually touching the wall right now, okay? And it gives you a good drill for practicing body awareness. If you notice how I came out, 1 foot drop to the side. But again, these are just some basic drills to start working on your handstand. The last thing I'll go over is same thing, just kicking up to a handstand and trying not to hit the wall. All right, so you just practice a kick up. You can start with your hands on the floor and trying not to slam into the wall and then coming back down. Obviously, sometimes you're going to hit the wall, but those are a few drills to work on for today. Let's talk about our sweat conditioning. All right, guys, our sweat conditioning today is going to start and finish with a 1,200 meter run. So that's 3 times 400 meter run. Of course, as always, if that's a long distance for you, feel free to scale that down, maybe an 800 meter run if you need, or maybe a row. You're gonna get a 2-minute rest after you do that, and then we're gonna do 100 ab mat sit-ups, 100 wall balls, and 100 jumping lunges. All right, so I would suggest for the newer athletes, if 100 reps in a row is a lot, really slows you down, maybe break it up into a couple sets, maybe 4 sets of 25 of each movement. It's a good way to approach it. All right, so let's talk about each movement. First thing we have is the ab mat sit-up. Okay, so the ab mat, I always remind people, has 2 sides. One side's thicker than the other. When you put that on the ground, it slides up to your butt. You don't actually sit on the pad, right? So it just slides up to your butt. On the back side, hands touch the ground. Use your arms to sit all the way up. Touch the ground in front. But make sure that your shoulder is over your hip. So it's not just touching your feet, okay? But it's sit all the way up. Really be aggressive with your arms. That's totally fine, okay? So 100 of those. From there, we go to 100 wall balls, okay? So the prescribed target is the 10-foot target, but the most important part about the wall ball is the squat. So prioritize a good squat. So if you can see me from the side here, I'm going to be, imagine I was throwing it at the wall. I'm looking up at the target and my forearms are supporting the wall ball through the entire squat. You want to avoid catching the weight or dropping down like this, right? If you can see, there's nothing supporting the ball here. It wants to fall down. My hips are not in a full squat, all right? And I can't see where I'm going to throw the ball. So you got to work on keeping your eyes and chest up, okay? And then trying to be consistent in the target that you hit. So you can scale the height if you want, but good squat, throw, okay? Break that up however you need, 100 reps there. The legs are gonna be wrecked going into 100 jumping lunges. So these are hard. Jumping lunges, remember whenever we do lunges, you don't wanna stand on a tightrope. So make sure your feet are still about shoulder width apart. You tap your back knee on the ground, big drive up, and switch, okay? Main thing here is getting extension at the top. What I mean is we do not want to do, that's not a good rep. It's not just switching your feet, but full extension, tap the knee, good control, okay? If jumping gets hard, I mean if you can't get the power off the floor, you're just going to do standing alternating lunges. So 100 reps means 50 each leg. You get a 2-minute rest, and then you're back out on that run again to finish off the workout for today. Have fun with that, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.